If you ever feel out of control around food, you're not alone, and you're in the right place to learn practical, no-nonsense information about why you binge and how to stop. Binge eating does not mean that something is wrong with you. It's a natural but primitive brain response that you can correct. If you're ready for change, sign up for the Brain Over Binge self-paced online course for less than $20 per month. And if you feel you need personalized support, we also offer one-on-one coaching and group coaching. To learn more, go to brainoverbinge.com/subscribe. And I hope you enjoy the show. Welcome to the Brain Over Binge podcast, where you learn a simple, brain-based approach to ending binge eating. I'm Katherine Hansen, your host, and I want to welcome you to the show today. This podcast is all about sharing information and resources and insights and ideas that can help you overcome binging and just put the struggle with food behind you for good. In this episode, I want to share something that I hope will help you if you do have a binge as you're trying to recover. As much as I wish that anyone who decided to pursue recovery would just never binge again after making that decision, that's not usually the case. Most people who are trying to end the habit, or any habit for that matter, have times where they do act on the urge. If you understand the Brain Over Binge approach, you know that I believe that the urges are the direct cause of binging. And these urges can be tempting. There can be times when you start to believe these faulty thoughts in your lower brain, and you fall into that automatic behavior, into that habit that the primitive parts of your brain are trying to maintain. Now, if you have times that you do that, it does not mean that all is lost in your recovery. You can definitely learn from the slip and you can move forward even stronger than before. And today I want to share some ideas to help you do that. And also I have a resource to share with you that you'll be able to download and then listen to if you do have a time that you binge, in order to help manage your mindset after that binge so that you can keep moving forward and keep making progress in recovery. I got the idea for this episode and also the resource I'm going to share from a recent Instagram live session where I received a couple of questions about how to pick yourself up and how to keep working on habit change even after a slip. For those of you who do not know, or those of you who have not been able to attend an Instagram live session, I host them once per month on the third Tuesday of each month at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to join these Instagram live streams, they're totally free and open to everyone. You can find me on Instagram at brain_over_binge. In my last session in January, I received these two questions. Do you have any advice on how to navigate the first few days after a binge? And then another similar question that said, do you have any mental health tips for after binges? I always feel like I'm at an all-time low. These are great questions, and I know that it's not just these two people that are struggling with this. This is definitely something that has come up when I've worked with clients one-on-one and also in groups. If you're a regular listener here, you know that there are two basic recovery goals of the Brain Over Binge approach, and those are dismissing urges to binge and eating adequately. If you do have times when you act on the urge, those recovery goals do not change. And getting back to having success does not require you to solve a bunch of other problems or fix your emotions or learn to cope with whatever is going on in your daily life. Changing the binge eating habit requires you to get back to those two goals. So keeping it simple for yourself by thinking just in terms of those two goals can really help you feel less overwhelmed. It can help you realize that you're not fundamentally broken, that you just acted on an urge, and now you need to get back to dismissing those urges and eating enough food. And then to help you with those two goals, you can use what works for you, whether you're in my course or using information from this podcast or my books, or if you're in group coaching or one-on-one coaching. But with all of that being said, I know that sometimes your mentality after a binge prevents you from doing the things that you know you need to do or the things that you know work for you. You can feel so badly about yourself and you can feel so ashamed and you can feel so frustrated after you binge that sometimes you may not want to take those actions that you know are going to help you. Sometimes you may fall into a really negative mindset and start thinking that you cannot do it. So when these two questions were asked on the Instagram live session, I did take that into consideration and try to explain how you can manage your mindset and take care of yourself so that you will start to feel more motivated again and you can get back to working on those two recovery goals. After that Instagram live, I started thinking that it would be a good idea to organize my advice around this into something that people could listen to after they have a binge, so that they don't slip into a hopeless mindset or start thinking that they cannot recover. I created a recording that anyone can download and use as needed. I already added it to the Brain Over Binge course, and then on the 1st of this month, I shared it with everyone who's subscribed to my newsletter, and I also wanted to share it on the podcast. To get this resource, all you have to do is go to brainoverbinge.com, and right there on the homepage, you'll be able to sign up for my newsletter, which gets you the free ebook, The Brain Over Binge Basics, which I talk a lot about on the podcast. And now it will also get you this free track that you can listen to if you have a binge in order to move past it so that you can keep moving toward a binge-free life. The track is called Manage Your Mindset After a Binge, and it's about a 10-minute recording that will take you through several steps that can help you stay in a mental state that promotes recovery. I've also included a link in the show description to get this Manage Your Mindset After a Binge track just to make it a little easier for you. I hope that you'll download it and use it anytime you feel like you need that extra support after a binge. And I hope that listening also helps you avoid future binges because that is a goal of this track as well. I appreciate everyone who has listened today, and I hope that you'll use this free resource if and when you need it, as you're making change and as you're getting binge eating out of your life for good. Wherever you are in making those changes, I want to encourage you and remind you that you have the power to change your brain and live a binge-free life. The Brain Over Binge podcast is produced and recorded by Brain Over Binge Recovery Coaching, LLC. All work is copyrighted by Brain Over Binge Recovery Coaching, LLC, and all rights are reserved. As a disclaimer, the hosts of the Brain Over Binge podcast are not professional counselors or licensed healthcare providers, and this podcast is not a substitute for medical advice or any form of professional therapy. Eating disorders can have serious health consequences, and you are strongly advised to seek medical attention for matters relating to your health. Please get help when you need it, and good luck on your journey. Need more help? You can find all of our current and upcoming options for support at brainoverbinge.com.